You're watching Tech Talk in affiliation with Tech for Text. We're a community that supports independent trade with the help of vendors and distributors. We're live Thursdays at 8 p.m. London time, and we will be streaming to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can listen to our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Google, TuneIn, and others. And now, let's talk Tech Talk.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Tech Talk. This is a live show where we help your IT business grow. Before we go any further, can you let us know if you can hear and see us? Because obviously, well, we don't want to just sit here and look like a load of fools for the next hour. Right, okay, so let me just have a quick look. I'm just going to post a chat, so if for any reason your name comes up as Facebook user, just like Facebook user has, if you click the link in chat, I'm just about to put in there right now when it lets me, you will be able to get your name shown. So instead of being called Facebook user, you'll be called Dan. So, and Dan is saying loud and clear, guys. So that should be good. So again, that link is chat.restream.io/FB. Unfortunately, it's one of those Facebook things where they have to give you permissions and so forth. So we've got Blue Bolt PC saying hello, can hear loud and clear. Right, okay, so that's good. A good start. So I think we better get on with the show then. Right, okay, today's show is about Mobile Pixel and obviously CMS distribution, obviously introducing them, and we'll go through and obviously see what these things are. But before we do that, my name's Phil, if you haven't gathered already, and this is...
I'm Jenny, and we're your hosts for the evening.
That's it. So we've also on the show, we've got Charles and Adam. Charles, if you want to introduce yourself, let everyone know basically who you are, what your position is, and what the company is you work for, and then we'll go on to Adam.
Brilliant. Thank you, Phil. So my name's Charles Kennard. I work with Mobile Pixel in a development role, so I help them to get their products distributed across essentially EMEA, so Europe, Middle East, and Africa, really being South Africa. It's a new brand to the European market. It's a 3-year-old company. They've been trading in the US for 3 years, and it's only now that they're kind of rolling out internationally.
Okay, that's a good introduction. Thank you for that. We've also got Poppy and G, so Graham, I'm guessing that is, from Celtic Computers watching as well. So always confuses everyone because they're based in Wales, not Scotland, but yeah. But yeah, Celtic Computers are watching, so that's good. Nice to see you guys. Right, okay, Adam, do you want to introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are and what you do?
Sure, thanks, Phil. My name's Adam. I am a gaming product manager at CMS. Manage everything from monitors to peripherals to components and also mobile pixels. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, nice one. Thank you. So we've got Kyle saying hi all from the Laptop Doctor as well. Again, guys, if you want to give yourself a shout out, feel free and we'll shout you out. So always happy to help. If you've got any questions as well on this show, let us know. And obviously we'll ask obviously Charles or Adam or both from whatever your questions may be. Obviously relevant questions, but if you really want to know what they've had for the tea tonight, feel free to ask. They can always say no. Also, Adam will in a few minutes tell you about a competition that we have got on tonight for viewers. It requires you to click on a link, which we'll share in a few minutes, and if you click on that link, fill the form in, you've got a chance of winning something, but we'll go through that in a few minutes time. First of all, Jen's got some news she wants to share about TechMax.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm going to shout out to my sponsors, Case King and AeroCool for the main sponsor and the lunch, and to Strong for the awards. Those are very important things to us as sponsorship. And if you would like to sponsor TechMax in some way, you can get me at info@techfortext.co.uk. And also, I'll let Phil flash that up there for you. Also, Bugs and Bytes have joined us at TechMax for another year. That's Ben Ashcroft, as many of you know him from the group. Kingston have signed on as well this week. It's been a busy week for me, so bear with me. Also, Kit Guru and PCR are coming to TechMax for media coverage. So you've got that. And I feel like I'm missing out on a talk somewhere.
What we did last week? A talk
Oh,
about what? Also, we've got to mention what you did last week. Should I say?
yeah, but I'm talking about. I feel like I'm missing out on a talk that's supposed to be announced.
It's the Kit Guru one.
It's the Kit Guru talk, right? They're going to be hosting a talk. I knew I was missing out. And also this week, yeah, I've been very, very, very busy. Phil and I took a trip to Harrogate. And you might say, oh, it's a lovely town, nice place to visit. Well, we weren't exactly doing touristy things. Well, we were in a geek way. We went to CMS and we saw Dan Hurst. We saw Adam, who is with us tonight. And I must say that the Harrogate office is absolutely beautiful. You get out your truck or your car, and you look down there, and there's a viaduct in the distance, and it just looks like a painting. And there's a helicopter pad, so you can helicopter in if you want to, and then you turn around, and there's this gorgeous building. I mean, really, when I say gorgeous, it is absolutely gorgeous. And I would probably spend my time having a tea on the veranda or something rather than working there. But they're a very friendly bunch of people there at the Harrogate office. And once we met those people and everything, we headed for Castleford. And I bet you wondered, why are you going there? Well, we went to see the warehouse, of course. And it's a huge warehouse.
Yeah,
I
pretty big.
mean, it is huge. And the way that they've got it divided up, it's very organized, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got people going around with forklifts and everything, and they are knowing exactly what the other's doing. Everybody knows where the products are. There's no scratching your head trying to think. It is all organized.
Those forklifts have got cameras on them as well, so they can see exactly what
Yeah.
they're doing, and like a screen in the forklift, so they can know exactly what they're doing. So
and
speeds
they
things up.
they recycle very well. I watched them go around. I just kind of sat back and observed, and every time someone would get finished with a box, they'd take it to the end of the row, crush down, and put it in an envelope. And then if someone needed a box for an order to be fulfilled, like for resellers, they knew where to come to get crushed card and send it out to you. So they do a real good job of recycling.
Yeah, it was pretty good, to be honest. I was quite impressed with
I
it. It was a
was.
bit of a wet day, but we had a good tour in Dan,
Yeah.
didn't we? So he did a good job.
I think the whole crew at CMS did a good job at showing what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Okay. So now we're done with that. Let's get on to the main topic. So let's get rid of the message on the bottom of the screen. I don't like this new layout. If everyone's wondering why I'm confused a little bit, it's because they're going to put a Halloween theme on all my buttons. So the stuff I normally press just looks completely different, and I normally know what it looks like by just looking at it.
We're creatures
Here
of
we go.
habit around here
Right,
at Tech for Tech.
there we go. So, right, before we go any further, Adam, do you want to let everyone know about the competition we've got going on tonight? I'll put a QR code on the
Sure.
screen so everyone can see. I'm actually going to stick Adam at the top of the screen, otherwise his face is going to actually be blocked. So, sorry, Charles, you'll be blocked for a couple of seconds. There we go.
Not too bad.
Cool. Cheers, Phil. So tonight, just for the show, we'll have a competition to win one of the Mobile Pixels screens. So you can either get a Duex Max or a Duex Lite, depending if you've got a 14 or a 16-inch laptop. So yeah, please register on the QR code, and we'll go through the products in a minute. And you'll
That's
see
it. No doubt Dan will let us know. I think he's watching as well if the QR code's not working. So obviously, Dan, if you've got away from your pint of Guinness, let us know if that QR code is actually working. So, right, okay. So I'll leave that competition on there again. So scan that, fill the form in, and you've got a chance for winning. It'll be drawn after the show, and then we'll announce it in the group in the coming days. And obviously, CMS will be in contact with you about sending you over one of these magic screens. So let me put
And they
Charles.
are magic.
Yeah. So, right, okay, so let's have a look. Let's put that QR code on that side for a second. Right, Charles, do you want to run us through about Mobile Pixel then?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, if I may, is we're going to play one of two videos just to introduce you to our products. We essentially have portable screens for laptops, which allows you to extend your laptop with a second screen. And we have various configurations of that product. And we also have desktop monitors. The range in that product is called a Geminos. And I think we should start, if you don't mind, Phil, playing the Geminos video, and then I'll continue the narration after that.
That's no problem. Let me stick that on the screen right now then.
The computer monitor has pretty much been the same ever since it was invented. With newer technology, it may have gotten lighter, thinner, and larger. But the biggest innovation is when people started using multiple displays.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but is it? The screen area spanned outside of a person's typical cone of vision, and they had to swivel their heads back and forth.
Oh, come on.
And stare at the crease in the middle.
You're so right.
And not to mention all this clutter and cable mess. That's why we at Mobile Pixels decided to do something about it. And by we, I mean Steven. Good work, Steven. Introducing the all-new Geminos by Mobile Pixels. Geminos is changing the game by stacking two 24-inch monitors on top of each other and integrating them into a single setup via a linkage system. That's right, stack. Geminos is amazing to use and also simple to set up. It comes out of the box, folded flat, give it a little lift, and it comes to life. The Geminos monitor has all the connections you need. USB-A, USB-C with pass-through charging, an Ethernet jack, TF and SD card slots, allowing for a much tidier workspace. No matter your height or your seating position, you will never have to swivel your head again. Save your neck and your desk space. Geminos by Mobile Pixels. Pick yours up today and get stacked.
There we go. So that was the first video. Was that exactly what you should have shown, Charles?
Yes, thank you very much, Phil. So to recap, the Geminos is two 24-inch monitors mounted vertically, and you can adjust, as you can see, the product. They're 1080p. There are two models in the range currently. There's the Geminos, which retails at $699, including VAT. And then there's the Geminos T, which is touchscreen. So the bottom panel is touchscreen. All of the products run on either Mac OS, Windows, or Linux. So Windows typically has the touchscreen capability built into the OS. If you're a Mac user, then there is a driver that you download from our website, which will then allow you to initiate touchscreen on the displays. So that's the Geminos. There are a couple of proprietary patents with this product. The vertical mounting is one of those. So I was about to say, but William obviously read my mind. William's asking me, are there any plans for a 27-inch variant of Geminos? We are planning a 27-inch 4K monitor, and it's likely that we will be showing that at CES in Las Vegas in January.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. So again, anyone got any questions, the same about distribution or pricing or warranty or anything along that lines, obviously feel free to send them over. This is an open show, so just feel free to obviously comment. I've also put the link in for the competition in your chat, so hopefully you should be able to click the link there rather than using the QR code, but I'll stick the QR code back up on the screen in a few minutes. Jen's just had to pop. Someone's at the door, so hopefully she'll be back in a few minutes, unless there's an emergency, who knows. But right, do you want me to play that second video for you, Charles, or before we go any further?
Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of recap on the Gemini. So the important thing there really is essentially the fact that you can adjust the monitors. Not everybody is of the same height. There is a video camera and a microphone obviously built in, so you can adjust the screen as you require it. Warranty is the standard warranty in the UK, and we essentially have less than 1% failure rate. So in the unlikely event that there is a failure, there is a replacement program for product that's under warranty if it's obviously a failure in components. I've also got a couple of other questions, so if I may, I'll kind of address those at the moment. So William came back again and asked about OLED screens. So William, one of the challenges at the moment is that we're trying to get to a price performance ratio. So for example, if we talk about the future, the 27-inch monitor that you asked about, we're trying to get it to a price point of $999. We do have smaller separate OLED displays in our range, particularly for customers who are looking for kind of color accuracy, maybe working with print or working with online. So I hope that's answered your question. Carl, you asked, can you charge from USB-C on the monitors? Both Geminis at the moment have pass-through power, so you can actually connect your devices and charge. You probably can't see on my desk, but I have an Apple laptop which plugs into my monitor, and obviously it charges at the same time. I'm sorry that some of the questions just disappeared there for a second. So yes is the answer, Richard, in terms of that USB-C cable. Does it charge the laptop? I'm just checking that I've got everybody's. Do you need 2 HDMI ports? Okay, so good question, Blue Volt PC. Essentially, you can, there are obviously 2 separate displays. So you can either run them off USB-C or you can run it off USB-C HDMI. So I hope that answers your question. And the wattage, I'll need to double check, William, if I may, but I'm pretty sure it's 60 watts. Let me look very, very quickly. It's 100 watts that goes through it, actually, William.
It is 100 watts, Charles. Yeah, just double checked.
Yeah, sorry, my brain's a little bit slow this afternoon, I should say. So yeah, it's 100 watts pass-through power.
Right, well, I think
that probably answers all of the questions that were on the screen. If I've missed anybody, apologies, just ping again. Great, CMS needs to update.
I think we might have missed, I guess we'll do that. I think we might have missed William asking if they're VA panels. They're IPS panels, 1080p.
Yeah, they're IPS panels right now, correct. Thank you.
Okay, looks like William's doing all the correcting for you. Let me just...
sorry, last question.
Okay.
I just saw something about gaming and GPU. This current version of the monitor is really kind of designed for workplace work. Depending on the gaming, I'm not sure that the refresh rate would be up to the gaming, but perhaps Adam, you could advise me in this area, because you're looking at probably the only person that doesn't game in the UK.
I think you can game on them. They are IPS panels. They're obviously decent for that. So it depends. I think we did game on the one at Tech Max a little bit, and it performed actually pretty well. So yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Okay, well, that sounds good. Let me quickly go through chat for anything that was missed earlier when the video was playing. So Dan says it's sitting in the background tonight as competition admin. Winner will be announced at the end of the show, apparently.
Sorry, there was one forgive me, Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one question from Graham. Do we know the trade prices? So Graham, have to come from, Adam?
I can tell you that generally reseller margin for you guys is about 15-16%. You can pick up the Geminos for around 430ish, I think, from us.
Okay, that sounds good. Just a heads up, people, if you are watching this show, obviously at another date or time, then prices can change. So there may be cheaper, more expensive, or newer models on the market. So just bear that in mind. So,
Yeah, I mean the official SRP on the Geminos is 699.
okay, sounds pretty good. Let's go through the chat. So Eurosoft's saying hi as well. If you didn't get the competition, I'll put the QR code on the screen again in a few seconds when it lets me. Here we go. So if you want to scan that QR code, you've got a chance of winning one of the Duex screens, which we're going to show a video in a few minutes' time. And obviously, Charles will give us a bit more information about those. All I'll say beforehand, they are pretty good. We've got one on Jen's laptop, and that thing works pretty good, to be honest. Ideal for watching a video on one and doing your work on the other, or comparisons and stuff like that. Absolutely brilliant. Get a spreadsheet on one screen and a Word document on another, or Outlook or whatever. It's pretty good. We've also got Eurosoft saying hi all as well, so that's good. Dan's sharing the link as well for the actual competition, which is also on the screen as a QR code. That's of which is good. William's also saying that he managed to visit, see all the disties in August 22, and CMS definitely has one of the most scenic offices. Yeah, definitely, with that helipad and the train going past as well and everything. Definitely look pretty good. Dan says his emails are coming in, so people are applying for the competition, which is good. So I think that got you clear up to a few seconds ago. So has anyone got the Restream link? Let me put that on the screen for you now, whoever Facebook user is. So that's there. So if your name is coming up as Facebook user, make sure you click on that. So I'm just putting the chat back on. So anyone who wants to do. Oh, William's sending an essay in. I'll let you read that for a second or two, Charles, before you answer him on that one. Blue Bolt was asking, can you put two together to make it make a panoramic for flight sim or racing games?
So, Blue Bolt, I just want to make sure that I understand your question. My assumption here is that your question is about putting them two side by side. If it is side by side, in this particular configuration, the monitors only mount vertically.
Okay, I understand. But if you wanted
Does
to
that
put
make sense?
two vertically next to each other, I don't know if that's what he means.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, and forgive me here because I really work predominantly with Macs. So the high-end Macs can drive 4 monitors, and there's absolutely no reason why you couldn't drive 2 Geminos side by side, for example, subject to the PC having the capability to drive 4 monitors.
Okay, sounds pretty good. So Richard's saying, let's have a look. He says it's a pretty decent price for what it is. We have a corporate that uses 2 of the Philips 24-inch monitors mounted on a stand. Your solution looks much nicer. I've seen it in person at the TechMax, and I must admit, yeah, they do look pretty nice, Richard. So
yeah, so Richard, thank you very much for the comment. I mean, the other thing as well to remember is there's also a hub at the back of this device as well, so it keeps all the cables nice and tidy. There's speakers, there's a camera built in, and a microphone. So thank you for that.
There we go. So let's have a look. So William's just posting the specification, so I don't think I'll need to read all that out. You can read that for yourselves, guys. But obviously, Charles will tell you any bits you want to fill in. And Facebook user, yeah, I think Jenny was kidnapped when she answered the door, to be honest with you. She's just on her way back in now, actually. So she'll be here in a second, so that's pretty good. So, right. Anyone else got any questions about this product? Doesn't sound like it. Do you want to move on to the next one, Charles?
Yes, I feel if I can just kind of summarize. So Mobile Pixel essentially started by both Jack and Stephen, who you saw in the video. And essentially, they were trying to solve problems for themselves. So when they first started the business, like most businesses, they had very little money. And so they were only able to rent a very, very small room that they could just about get 4 desks in. But they didn't have an awful lot of space. And what they discovered is, because at that time they were doing a lot of product development and using CAD/CAM, they couldn't get 2 monitors side by side on the 4 desks. And so Stephen came up with the idea of, well, why can't we mount them vertically? And that was really how Geminos came about. So they were solving a problem for themselves and ultimately turned that into a product for the market. And there is a similar story when we played the Duex video. So Phil, whenever you're ready, we can play the Duex and then I'll narrate after that.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So let me get that one on. So another video coming on, guys. Well, there we go. So
I've got to say, those are handy little things.
I feel like I need to apologize for the backing track, but there you go.
I don't know. I was getting down to that in the background. Luckily, no one could see me. But yeah, so
yeah, I really enjoy mine. I've got one just like that on my laptop, guys. And you really, once you get it on there, you're going to be spoiled to it. You can't live without it. It is just amazing.
Yeah, it's good. You've used it in a couple of meetings where you flipped it around. I think you call it the presentation mode. So you can basically clone your screen or just show off a presentation. So you can run it on your laptop screen and then it's facing the opposite way. So the people who are opposite you can actually see the actual presentation.
You don't have to flip, you know how awkward it can be to move your laptop around and everything. Well, just flip your screen around on this and you can see the same thing. It's very easy.
Yeah, that's definitely there. I'll let Charles jump in here. So Charles, yeah, tell us a little bit more about this screen then.
So the Duex series is how we group together the additional monitor that we create for the laptop. And the company was founded basically with the Duex product. And that came about because Jack had taken a job working at intern at Amazon in the US, and it was one of his very first jobs. And of course, being the lowest of the low in the pecking order, essentially when he went in, he never knew where he would sit, and he only had the ability to work from his laptop. And he thought back to his previous role where he had a big screen, and you know, he felt incredibly frustrated that he was now working in a much smaller display. He had a broken laptop at home, so he took the screen off, and being an engineer, because he's a graduate of MIT, he kludged it together and took the second screen into the office. They subsequently entered a competition, which was run by a venture capital company for new products. They presented the concept to them. They got $100,000 to develop the product to a prototype stage. They launched in Kickstarter, raised $1.5 million, and that was really the seed capital that essentially built Mobile Pixel to the company that it is today. And the Duex is mounted magnetically onto the back of your laptop. And what kind of differentiates it from separate screens is firstly the convenience aspect. And as Jenny discussed, I mean, I'm in presentation mode at the moment, so I'm actually mirroring my laptop because the display connects and can rotate all the way around. So you can either use it in presentation mode, you can use it as a second screen, essentially. Hopefully you can see that. But if you're working with Word and Excel, you can also take it off because it then allows you to set it up into portrait mode. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then by just changing the settings on your laptop, you can work landscape on your laptop and portrait on the second display. So there are 3 user cases for the product. And it was really designed, this all happened obviously before COVID. So it was really designed for what the customer thought was the ideal profile, which was mobile working. And of course, with COVID coming, they thought, well, there goes our business overnight. But what they discovered was sales grew because although people weren't traveling, they still wanted the ability to move around their locations in the house, you know, whether they're working from the city and watching TV, or, you know, whether this is American now, bear this in mind, but, you know, whether they were sitting by the pool because they obviously have the weather. And so the ideal profile of customer for this product has really been anybody that's working mobily or moving between locations. If we look at our overall business, about 40% of it is online because online does a very good job of explaining all of the features and functions of the products. And the other 40% goes into what I describe as B2B. And then 10% of it is what we call traditional retail. So that's kind of how the business is segmented right now. And in terms of unit shipments, the Duex series is about 60% unit shipments in the portable screen category, because we have a number of other screens in the portable category. And then, of course, we have the Geminos, which is the desktop. And the business has gone from 0 to 30 million in essentially 3 years just in the US.
That's amazing.
So we're now rolling it out across all of Europe, Japan, Pacific, and Latin America.
That sounds pretty good.
You're right, though. Americans, we do like our pools and stuff. And if we can sit by the pool and work in comfort, well, then you've won us over right there.
That's making everyone
Yeah,
jealous
and of
about
course,
pools.
the other thing is, you know, not everybody has an office at home. I mean, they're working from the work table or they're sitting on the settee or whatever. So, you know, when you move, if you look at the academic research that's done around moving from a large screen to just a laptop display, you know, the academics say anything between 20 to 40% productivity drop from using a big screen. And if we think about how we use our laptops, you know, it's almost, we never just have one application open.
No.
You know, we're running between multiple applications, and the context switching and everything that's involved, you know, has an impact on the productivity. So it makes it a huge difference having 2 displays. And hopefully, Jenny, I mean, you've experienced that because you said to me earlier before we started this call that you didn't know that type of solution existed.
No, I just thought it
And
was
of
going to be
course-
HDMI to another monitor as a docking station style. And I had done that for years when I would be traveling about with my laptop. Just take a HDMI and plug it into a convenient monitor sitting around, and there I go. But when I saw this come out, I was like, oh, this is nice. Now I don't have to hunt down another monitor. I don't have to worry about, did I bring my HDMI cable? Everything's all together, compact, and it travels around with me. It's already on my laptop right now. The magnetic things, they're holding it on there right now. I can just pick up and go. And it's just as simple as disconnecting the little cable so it doesn't get damaged in transit, and away I go.
Yeah, when you say magnetic, it doesn't sound as strong as it is, but they're actually very sturdy.
Those magnets. Try and pull one off, and oh my gosh,
Yeah, they're very strong. And the other thing is the magnets are attached with a sorry, Jenny. Yeah, the magnets attached on your laptop with a special 3M glue, so you can actually take the magnets off if you want to, and it doesn't actually mark your device.
Well, I tried and I didn't get them off, so I said, well, I'm just leaving them there because I'm going to be attaching my screen anyway. So they just stay there.
Yeah, you can take them off if needs be. If I remember right, there were some extra pads to stick them on in the box, if I remember right, but I might be wrong there.
Yeah, so there are extra packets in the box, and you can actually buy extra magnets because some people may have more than one laptop and they just want to switch the screens between the two. Richard has just asked the question, how is it to carry around? Is the casing metal or plastic? So, Richard, hopefully you can see this, but this is obviously goes onto the back of your display, but the screen goes in and you've essentially got a hard case protecting the screen. So you can put it in the bag. I'm not the most gentle of users,
No,
I can assure you, but it's pretty robust. And the other thing that really surprises people, and I always make a point of handing it around, is just how light this display is.
It is lightweight.
I mean, it's less than a bag of sugar, and if my memory serves me correctly, it's 2.2 pounds, I think, a pack of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Adam's looking up now.
Now, the way I carry mine around when it's in the bag, I disassemble the whole thing and I wrap mine in bubble wrap because I am Murphy's Law. If it can happen, it will. So I don't want the thing to get busted. So I wrap mine in bubble wrap and put it in my
But it is quite sturdy, to be honest with you. But obviously, we're piling stuff up.
But Richard, I mean, at some stage you'll get an opportunity to see the product. It's incredibly strong, and the display is encased.
Yeah,
so it is kind of protected from a direct knock.
It's as strong, or if not stronger, than I would say than a traditional laptop screen. Anyway, to be honest with you, so if you're going to put it through the same sort of
well, yes, I mean. Yeah, I mean, one of the failures here with digital is you really need to pick the product and have a look at it and see how it's engineered. But it is protected with display.
Pretty good. So let me just get some more on there. Obviously, William was saying that he's seen some people using ones at Insomnia, similar to that. So Dan's saying single USB-C connection and an extra screen. Absolutely fantastic. Let's have a look. Richard is saying, sorry if I missed it, but is that price the touchscreen version? I'm not sure which price is seen, but
so Richard, I just want to make sure Geminos. So Richard, your question is in relation to the Geminos, is it? Because if it is, the Geminos is $799 including VAT. Sorry, the Geminos is $699 including VAT, and the Geminos T is $799. So there's £100 difference.
And that's the retail
including
price,
VAT.
That's RRP.
And if we talk about the Duex screens, which we have now, they come in 3 sizes. Shortly, there'll be 2 sizes. So they go from 12.5 inch to 14.1. The product that we showed you on the video essentially comes in 2 configurations: 13.3 inch, which is 169 including VAT, and 14.1, which is 199 including VAT. So it's fairly inexpensive. And the way I typically explain this product to people is, I ask the question, do you think by having a second screen you would save 6 hours a month in terms of personal productivity? And if the answer is yes, then, thinking about the average hourly cost, it pays for itself in a month. And of course, if you're saving more than 6 hours a month, which it would most definitely help you if you're working remotely and don't have access to a big screen, it's easily paid for.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Obviously, the prices, again, these are retail prices as mentioning. So obviously, if you're getting it at CMS distribution, you're going to be getting them at trade prices. So what would be some good use case scenarios for these things? So what type of people, would you say business people, is there any other areas where you'd think they'd benefit?
Well, one comes.
I think someone
You
mentioned
mean in
earlier.
terms of the Duex screen?
Yeah, probably the Duex one.
Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
I was just going to mention very quickly I think someone mentioned in chat the Geminos, and maybe been used in a creative space, especially the touch one, where you have a touch screen on the bottom and a normal screen on the top. Definitely something to consider. I think it'd be a really good use for that one.
I think that the lost the one I have. What's the name?
Yeah,
for
the
it?
Duex.
Yeah, I think those would be great for schools because if a teacher has something on her laptop, she wants to show the class, she can just flip it over, boom, and show the class. That way.
Yeah, and like one-on-one,
Yeah.
where they can't put it on like a projector or something
Yeah,
like that.
I think that would work out real well.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a good
So listen,
option.
I've got a couple of other questions that have come up. So
Okay.
William has asked if there's any plan to bring the Trio Max to the UK. So what we have been focusing on talk on is a single screen that pulls out. We do have something called a Trio, which is actually two screens. And William, in reply to your question, I just didn't focus on the Trio because in terms of volumes of sales, it's what I describe as a long tail product. It is available. We're just updated it and made it lighter. And the next batch of product, which CMS have on order, they will have the Trio Max, the latest version of the Trio Max. So yes, it's available in the UK.
Okay, that's good. Great.
Richard, your question. Sorry,
Oh.
your question about USBs.
I just wanted to know if Dan disconnected his USB before he put it in his bag, which was a valid point. You don't want to damage that, and Dan's assuring him that he does.
Yeah, sorry guys, if you keep thinking we're over talking each other, there's a bit of lag delay. It's a bit like on the old phone when you were calling internationally. There's sometimes a 5-second delay. Sometimes I think there's a slight delay. so we're not doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Charles. I'll let you carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like Dan was faster off the draw in answer to Richard's question. So Richard, yes, I mean, this is the cable which disconnects, and you'll see that it has an old USB-A for older generation of laptops and a USB-C. So yeah, these just unplug.
Okay, that's pretty good then. Regarding what Graham asked earlier, he's saying that he loves the promo videos. They'd be great to play in store to show off the screens. Are you able to provide those videos or even
absolutely. In actual fact, today I received a request from a large retailer in Europe. He wants the videos, which we make available to everybody. He just wants us to do them as a loop. So yes, you can absolutely have the video that Jack presents on the Geminos without any problem at all. It's about 1 minute and 35 seconds, if I remember correctly. But yeah, readily available.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Do you offer any other pointer sales material like posters to promote the products or anything along that lines?
So the simple answer to your question is yes. The reason I'm somewhat hesitant is everybody generally needs something different. So it would really depend. We could certainly provide artwork that, the resellers could print locally, like a standard A4 or something like that. So we do have a number of digital assets that can be utilized.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. I'm going to chuck over a question for Adam, the ever-all popular one. If we wanted to buy these from CMS and we don't have an account, A, how do I get an account? B, how easy is it? And C, do I have to be VAT registered?
Yes, Bill. You do need to be VAT registered for CMS, but it is quite easy to set up an account. You can either drop, me or Dan Hurst an email is in chat, and we can get you set up and get sorted with one of our account managers. It takes honestly a day at most, so it's quite quick.
Okay, sounds pretty good. So you do have to be VAT registered for CMS. Is that correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
You believe so? Okay. Dan will obviously get back to me if he's free. If not, so yeah, okay. So obviously you've got the link at the bottom of the screen for obviously CMS's website, which is cmsdistribution.com. We've also got the competition running as well. I'll stick the QR code up on the screen yet again. Here we go. You'll get a chance of winning one of the Duexes. It's obviously a free competition to join. You just enter your details, and obviously you will get picked out of, well, I don't know how Dan's actually sorting it, but some sort of random thing where you actually get a chance of winning.
Let's go out to the chat. Richard Creedy has an account and he's not VAT registered.
Might prove me wrong then, Richard.
Richard, you're not going to have an account tomorrow by the sounds of it. So
I'll be looking that one up.
Yeah, just double check that one. We'll confirm. I know when
I'm pretty sure that when I got my CMS account, I had not gone VAT registered.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll double check on that one, guys, for you, and I'll put it in after the show notes if it's one way or the other. So there we go. Someone creating complications there. So right, okay. So Dan's saying obviously. Probably the best way of putting it, if you're VAT registered, obviously that's pretty much a thing saying you're a valid business. If you're not VAT registered, they need to basically confirm you're a valid business. So obviously you'll be able to sort it out. So if you have any issues getting an account set up, let Dan know, or obviously Adam, or let myself, and I'll point you in the right direction. I doubt there'll be an issue, but you never know. So there we go.
Good to have friends in low places, isn't it?
That's it. So do we have any other products what you think you may be bringing out in any time soon, Charles, what you can enlighten us about?
Yes. So what I sent you was a reduced version of our range. And the reason that I do that is that over the years, I've learned the importance of focus. So the 5 SKUs that are on that presentation are essentially what I describe as the 20-80, the 20% of the SKUs that do 80% of our business. We have the trio, which was asked about earlier on. That is actually going to be available very shortly. And then we have another product called the Float, which should be shipping by the end of this year. And if you can imagine, with the Duex, we're obviously mounted on the back of the laptop and it pulls out this way. We have a product that's actually going to sit above your laptop. So the screen is going to be like the Geminos. You're going to have a smaller screen up here. And you can also flip it over to present outwards. And what I can do is send you a larger version of the presentation, which if you want to share with the viewers, you're more than welcome to. The Float is not going to be available until the end of December. And then we will certainly have a couple of products at CES, which are new, but I'm kind of not at liberty to discuss them right now.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Totally understand that. I think we've got through most, if not all, the questions in the chat. If we have missed anyone, or if anyone else has got any more questions they want to ask, feel free to do it now, because we've only got a few minutes left of the show. Obviously, we don't want to be here all night. So if you want to ask any questions, feel free now. I think it's Dan. I think as many people who are entering the competition as they're going to have probably done that now. So I'm presuming you want to end that now and send us over who won. So obviously William wants to know. Hint, hint. Well, I think William's trying to get in there and get one of them for free. But obviously, hopefully Dan will be able to let us know. So he says, give us a couple of minutes. So that's fine. I'll tell you what, guys, because it was quite popular, while we're waiting for Dan, I'm just going to run, because there's quite a few people who didn't see the first video. I'm going to run that video again. It's only, about a minute and a half long. And basically it shows off the first product we were talking about. So, and then we'll go through any more questions, and then we'll go through what Dan said. We'll go through what Dan says. Who's the winner, basically. So let me run that
14
video.
14 entries, he says.
So there you go. So could have been a few more, I think, but still, you've got a 1 in 14th chance of winning, everyone. So here we go. Let's put that video on for a couple of minutes.
The computer monitor has pretty much been the same ever since it was invented. With newer technology, it may have gotten lighter, thinner, and larger. But the biggest innovation is when people started using multiple displays.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but is it? The screen area spanned outside of a person's typical cone of vision, and they had to swivel their heads back and forth.
Oh, come on.
And stare at the crease in the middle.
You're so right.
And not to mention all this clutter and cable mess. That's why we at Mobile Pixels decided to do something about it. And by we, I mean Steven. Good work, Steven. Introducing the all-new Gymnos by Mobile Pixels. Gymnos is changing the game by stacking two 24-inch monitors on top of each other and integrating them into a single setup via a linkage system. That's right, stack. Gymnos is amazing to use and also simple to set up. It comes out of the box, folded flat, give it a little lift, and it comes to life. The Gymnos monitor has all the connections you need. USB-A, USB-C with pass-through charging, an Ethernet jack, TF and SD card slots, allowing for a much tidier workspace. No matter your height or your seating position, you will never have to swivel your head again. Save your neck and your desk space. Gymnos by Mobile Pixels. Pick yours up today and get stacked.
Okay, there we go. So it looks like a random number generator from Dan is saying that number 4 is that the winner then, Dan? Sorry, guys, there's a bit of a delay.
Winner, chicken dinner, number
So
4.
who is number 4, Dan? So that would actually help letting us know. So he'll obviously let us know in a few seconds. There is a slight bit of a delay, obviously, with the chat. So hopefully he answers at some point in the next 30 seconds. Here we go.
Message to Adam.
Okay.
It's just
So
let me know.
So now Adam's in charge.
okay, so Adam, let us know who's won. And guys, if you haven't won, blame Adam and Dan, not me.
Yeah, we had
That makes sense. So I'm happy to announce that the winner of the Duex screen is Cormy.
Oh,
Oh.
Cormac. Okay, nice one. Well done, Cormac.
King of Ireland himself.
King of Ireland. That's
Congratulations.
exactly what Dan put in the message as well.
So I don't know. I hope you guys ship to Ireland because it's going to be a bit of a. Well, actually, I know you do because you've got a warehouse in Ireland, don't you? So hopefully you do. So, Kyle, is a fix? Yeah, I think it is a fix there. So, but Cormy will no doubt do a TikTok video about it or something in the coming days.
That's what you call
but,
the look of the Irish.
That's it. He's definitely been following those rainbows.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Do we know what size Cormac's monitor is, laptop is?
Yeah, Cormac, what size is your laptop screen so they can get you the screen size what fits yours best? Again, there's going to be a 30-second delay on that, so we'll come back with that in a few minutes. Right, because it's getting to because it's getting to the end of the show. Charles, is there anything else you would like to add on to the end of the show? Anything else you would obviously like to comment on regarding the screens or anything else?
No, not really. I think the videos do a really good job of explaining the features and functions of both products. As I said, the ideal target customer, if you like, for us is somebody that works mobily, whether it's between office and home or whether they're on the road. I mean, anybody that's in a customer facing role, the features that they really like besides the screen pulling out is everybody, when I show them the ability to present in present mode by just turning the screen around 180 degrees, it never fails to elicit a smile, because everybody knows when they're in small group meetings, the ability to just do that makes it so much easier and productive in a small meeting environment. So, and portrait screen, because a lot of us spend our head stuck in Excel. And, I personally prefer working with Excel in a portrait mode. So again, it really does depend on what type of work function you have.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I think it's a good selling point, to be honest, guys, is even if you just buy one to begin with for yourselves and use it on your personal laptop if you're a call-out service, and when you're going to these meetings or you're seeing your clients, it's something to show off to them as well. So it's a chance that you can upsell from there. And if you have got a retail store, why not just get one just to put in your retail store on a laptop you've got in there and show off? It'll be a talking point. An average person will not have seen one of these. Not many techs have seen one of these. So so the average person hasn't. So it's going to be something, a talking point for them, and something what might get their interest, because the amount of especially elderly people who struggle to see the screens on the laptops would give an arm and a leg for a slightly bigger screen. So it's not just business people. It could potentially work out for quite a few people, to be honest with you.
True.
I think Cormac, I don't know if you saw Adam, I think he said he's got a 14-inch screen. So if you can sort him out with that. What does he want to say, John?
Definitely will.
I was just going to say that Cormac has a 14-inch screen.
There we go. So everyone's saying it's a fix. Cormac, the electricity over there apparently won't work with the screen.
I don't know, if you get enough potatoes, you can make vodka. And
I don't think that argument really works, considering it powers through the laptop. But I'll let him off with that one. But there we go. So right, guys, I think that's pretty much it. So Dan's just saying, keep an eye out for Phil and Jenny's review of their visit, and if anyone needs anything, just give us a shout. Yeah, if you didn't hear earlier, we visited CMS last week. We went round the Harrogate and Castleford sites, so they've got the office and the warehouse, huge warehouse, and they showed us around and so forth. We've got like a write-up of it's not really a review as such, more of a write-up about our experiences and basically the tour what we were given by Dan and the rest of the team there. So,
and even though the day was grim and there was rain and floods everywhere, that didn't stop Dan from trucking on down the road and taking us to Castleford. Castleford.
Yeah, Castleford.
I get those Castleton and Castleford mixed up, so I'm having to sit here and think.
That's it.
Is it right?
Don't worry about it. It's the one with a castle in it. But yeah, so there we go, guys. Adam, do you have anything you would like to add to the end of the show? We've already had Charles's view.
Sure. Yeah. I guess from CMS's side, we've got stock on most of the range, and if you need pricing on anything or anything like that, please drop me or your account manager or Dan an email, and we'll get sorted. Thanks a lot for having me.
There we go. And guys, if you didn't see the email address, if you want, CMS Distribution has their own Tech for Techs email address, which is tech4techs, and then the @, and then cmsdistribution.com. So you can email on there, or you can email your normal person, Adam, whoever you normally deal with at CMS. Right, so I think that's going to be it for tonight then.
Yeah, I do think we've got to do one more thing. And
what's that?
Play a video.
Yeah, we'll play that video. I'll let you choose, Charles, on as we finish the show. We can either play the Duex video or we can play the other video again. It's up to you.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to put all of the responsibility of that decision back onto you, Phil, so you can choose.
Well, I'm going to pass it on to Adam. Adam, it's your choice.
Didn't we have the Geminos one just a minute ago?
Yeah,
Yeah,
did.
we played a
this one
Geminos.
to close out.
Go for the Duex one then again. So, right, guys, I just want to say thank you for watching. We do have a show next week. So, Thursday, 8 o'clock as normal. What is this show? Is it the Christmas one we're doing?
It is called A Very Clever Christmas.
Yeah.
And we're going to have on there, I know Ken has signed up because he gave me the idea. But if you would like to be on it, please let me know. I've got some more people signed up, I know, but I just don't have that stuff.
You've not got it on you. But we do have a show next week.
Yeah.
And if anyone else is wanting to take part, if there's any room, just get in touch with Jen. You've got our details. If not, obviously, just leave a comment and so forth, and we'll get back to you. But otherwise, thank you all for watching. Especially thank you for Charles for coming on, and obviously Adam as well for basically spending their evening talking to you guys. So, and hopefully they're getting paid double time to do this as well.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for your attention tonight.
Right.
Thank you for
guys,
joining us.
And we'll leave
thanks
you
a lot,
that
guys.
video. Thanks again. See you later, guys. Thank you.
Cheers.